I paid for the whole Thanksgiving dinner. But my mom gave me a special gift, a list of rules titled, "If you want to eat with us again." I said nothing. 2 months later, I gave her a gift too, a foreclosure letter, delivered on her birthday. When I saw the box, I actually smiled. It was wrapped in silver paper. About my name on a tag to Daniel from Mom. Happy Thanksgiving. We just finished dinner. I was still clearing plates, trying to pretend it didn't sting that no one had helped set the table but me. You didn't have to get me anything, I said, wiping my hands on a napkin. Oh, but I did, my mom said sweetly. Go on. Open it. My brother smirked. My dad sipped his wine. I should have known something was off right then. I peeled off the ribbon and opened the box. Inside was a white binder. On the cover, in large black font, printed on glossy paper. If you want to eat with us again, guidelines for Daniel, revised. I stared at it. Is this a joke? No, Mom said, as if she were announcing dessert. It's something we all agreed would be helpful. Constructive feedback. Helpful for what? I asked. To keep the peace, my brother said, leaning back with his arms behind his head. To make next year a little less. You. I flipped open the binder. There were dividers. Section 1. Conversation boundaries. No bringing up work. No correcting others, even if you're technically right. No sarcastic jokes about the food. It's rude. No passive-aggressive comments about finances. Section 2. Contribution expectations. If you choose to pay for dinner, do so without mentioning it. No complaints about cost, quantity, or guests. Store-bought pies are not allowed. Don't arrive with attitude. What is this? I muttered. My mom crossed her legs, looking pleased. It's just something to help you fit in better. We notice Thanksgiving is always tense when you're here. Tense. I echoed. I paid for all of it. We know, she said quickly. And you made sure everyone knew it. I blinked. Because I did it all. I ordered the food. I set the table. I even rented the chairs. See, my brother said, grinning. That attitude. This is what we mean. A laugh escaped me, sharp and humorless. So you printed me a manual on how to exist at your table. It's not an attack, my mom said, folding her hands. It's a gift. A gift, I repeated, holding up the binder. You gift-wrapped a list of ways I disappoint you and called it thoughtful. My dad finally spoke, without looking at me. If you can't take some feedback, maybe it's better if you don't come next year. I stood there, binder in hand, and I remembered last Thanksgiving, when Mom cried because she couldn't afford dinner, and I spent nearly $1,000 covering everything. She'd hugged me then. Said she didn't know what she'd do without me. Guess she figured it out. I can't believe you planned this, I said. You wrapped it. It's better than another pity speech about how underappreciated you feel, my brother muttered. I put the binder back in the box, slowly closed the lid, and looked around the room, at the people I'd spent years bending over backwards for. No one met my eyes. I'm gonna go, I said quietly. Mom frowned. Come on, don't be dramatic. I'm not, I said. I'm just taking your advice. Looks like I won't be joining you next year. Don't be like this, she said. It was meant with love. I've seen love, I said. This isn't it. And I left. But not before I slid a different envelope back under the table, the one I brought just in case. The one with the words property owner, Daniel Wexler, printed in the corner. They didn't open that one yet. But they would. And when they did, no binder in the world would save them. You know what's funny? That binder, the one with all the rules, wasn't the first time my family tried to fix me. It was just the first time they put it in writing. You always take things too seriously, my mom used to say. It's just family. Everyone jokes around. But it was never jokes. Not when my brother got a brand new car from my parents at 19, and I had to take out a loan for a used Honda with 170,000 miles. Not when they covered his rent in college, but told me, you're the older one, you should already be stable. I paid off his debts twice. Twice. No one remembers that. But they remembered when I didn't bring a bottle of wine to Easter once. That came up 3 Thanksgivings in a row. Daniel's always been kind of difficult. My mom told my aunt once when she thought I wasn't listening. Sensitive. A little cold. Cold? I paid for her roof when it collapsed in the storm 2 winters ago. But maybe the worst part was that I accepted it for so long. Because every time they needed something, I was there. When Dad lost his job in 2020, I covered their mortgage for 5 months. Quietly. When my brother's wife Kelly had surgery and they were drowning in hospital bills, I sent them $4,000 without being asked. Not once did anyone say thank you. Instead, I got, you're so lucky you don't have a family of your own yet. You can afford it. Lucky. Yeah. Let me tell you what lucky looked like. Eating tuna from a can in a freezing apartment while I sent them money for heat. But I kept doing it. Because if I stopped, I was scared they'd stop pretending to love me. And then, one day, I found something that snapped the whole picture in half. It was 3 years ago. I was helping my parents organize old documents for their refinancing application. My mom had accidentally fallen behind again. I opened a drawer in her bedroom, looking for the property tax forms. Instead, I found an envelope. Thick. Faded. Inside, printed emails between her and my aunt. One of them stood out immediately. Daniel is good for money, but not much else. He never bonded with the rest of us. Emotionally stunted, I think. Useful, though. Useful. Useful. I sat on the floor with that paper in my hands, my ears ringing. I was 33. I had just sent her another $1,200 the week before. I put the papers back where I found them. I didn't say anything. What would I even say? That was the day I started taking notes. Literally. I made a Google document. Every expense. Every Venmo. Every favor I did for them. By last Thanksgiving, the total hit $78,364.57. And still, they gave me a binder full of rules. The week after that dinner, I got a group text. Mom. Hi, sweetheart. Just wondering if you could pre-order the Christmas ham again this year. We trust your taste. I didn't respond. 2 days later. Mom. Also, I think we should talk about what happened. It felt like you were triggered. I was not attacking you. Brother, it was literally a joke. You had to ruin the whole holiday. Dad, nothing. As usual. I ignored them. Then came the voicemail. Daniel, I just wish you wouldn't twist everything. That binder was meant to help you. We're trying, honey. But you have to meet us halfway. Meet you halfway? I nearly choked laughing. You want to meet halfway after making me pay the full bill for years? But then something happened I didn't expect. Kelly, my brother's wife, texted me. Kelly, hey, I probably shouldn't be messaging you, but I need to tell you something. I didn't answer. She texted again. Kelly, it's about the binder. I didn't know they were giving it to you like that. I thought it was just a joke between your mom and Kevin. But they printed copies. Copies. Plural. That stopped me cold. I called her. Copies. I said as soon as she picked up. She hesitated. They showed it to everyone, Daniel. At Mom's birthday dinner. The one you missed last month. Kevin was reading it out loud like a roast. My stomach twisted. What? Your mom printed, like, 5 versions. She gave one to your aunt. Said she could use it as a model. Said you'd always been difficult, and this was the only way to make you tolerable at gatherings. I didn't speak. There's more, Kelly said, her voice dropping. She asked Kevin if he thought she could legally remove you from the deed. The one you co-signed. I couldn't breathe. They're trying to screw me out of the house, I whispered. I think so, she said. And I think Kevin's in on it. That's when everything clicked. The coldness. The sudden shift. The binder. The fake sweet voice. They weren't just tired of me. They were trying to erase me. But they forgot something. The house? It wasn't just co-signed. It was fully transferred. After a messy insurance claim, the house had been refinanced under my name entirely. They never read the paperwork. They just signed. Because they trusted me. Because I was the good one. Useful. Well, now I had something useful of my own. The title. I sent it 2 weeks later, call it a delayed birthday gift. Official, certified, notarized, and mailed with zero guilt. Intent to foreclose. Failure to compensate title holder for 36+ months of missed payment. Property reclaim date. Pending. She got it 3 days later. And the silence from the group chat was the sweetest sound I'd ever heard. It was my mother's birthday. Again. They invited me, like nothing had happened. Like there hadn't been a binder. Like I hadn't gone radio silent for 6 weeks. I wasn't planning to go. But I did. Because this time, I was bringing a gift of my own. Look who finally decided to show up. My brother Kevin said, opening the door with a grin that made my skin crawl. Come in, Mom called from the kitchen. Dinner's almost ready. I made lasagna, your favorite. I stepped inside slowly. Same house. Same smells. Same energy. Fake warmth. Real tension. Wine, my dad asked, already pouring. I'm good, I said. Kevin elbowed me as I passed. Still mad about the binder? He smirked. No, I said. That was hilarious. Mom poked her head out from the kitchen. See? He can take a joke. Right? I said flatly. They were all pretending. As if I hadn't mailed them a legal foreclosure notice. As if I hadn't cut off every payment for the past 2 months. As if the clock wasn't already ticking. Dinner was quiet. Too quiet. They asked about work. I didn't answer. Kevin talked about his vacation plans. I nodded. And then Mom finally said it. Daniel, we were hoping to talk. As a family. I looked up from my untouched plate. About. She smiled nervously. About the house. Kevin chimed in. Yeah, you sent some kind of letter? Legal stuff. What was that about? You didn't read it? I asked. It looked like junk, Dad muttered. We get threats all the time. That wasn't a threat, I said. I pulled an envelope from my coat pocket and dropped it on the table. That was a formality. This is the real deal. What is it? Mom asked, not touching it. Final notice. I'm giving the property back to the bank unless the debt is cleared. You're $42,000 behind. Behind on what? She snapped. Payments, I said. Mortgage. Property tax. Insurance. All of it. You never reimbursed me. You said you'd cover it. Kevin barked. I said I'd help. You turned that into ownership. Ownership I've now reclaimed. You're bluffing, Dad said. I pulled out my phone. Opened the PDF. Title, Daniel Wexler. Sole owner. Filed, County of Alameda. Registered, July 16, 2020. You signed it, I said. You didn't read it. Mom stared at the screen. No. That's not what we agreed. It's what you signed. Kevin's chair scraped the floor as he stood up. You're insane. I'm just done, I said. Done being your backup wallet. Done being your emotional punching bag. Done being the useful one. We're your family. Mom yelled, her voice cracking. You don't do this to family. You mean like giving them a binder full of rules and humiliating them at dinner? It was a joke. Kevin shouted. You're such a crybaby. Always playing the victim. I stood slowly. You told me I make holidays tense. You said I should be more grateful. You made a manual on how to be worthy of sitting at your table. You're exaggerating. Mom said, standing too. No, I said. I'm finally seeing it clearly. She took a shaky step toward me. We raised you. And then you resented me for turning out better than you. Her hand twitched like she might slap me. She didn't. Instead, she whispered, if you go through with this, Daniel, I'll never forgive you. I looked her straight in the eye. You forgave Kevin for draining my savings. That's different, she hissed. No, I said. It's always been the same. Him, golden boy. Me, walking ATM. My dad finally snapped. You're unbelievable. You know that? You think money makes you important? You think we need you? I shrugged. You did. That's over now. You can't evict your own parents, Mom said, her voice shrill. I'm not, I said. The bank will. There was dead silence. Then Kevin lunged. He grabbed the envelope, tore it in half, and threw it at my chest. You've really changed. Don't finish that, I said quietly. I've kept a full record of this conversation. His face froze. Just like I've done with everything else for my own protection. You're threatening us now? Mom gasped. No, I said. I'm protecting myself. Like I should have done years ago. You'll regret this, she screamed. I already regret staying this long. I grabbed my coat and walked to the door. I'll fight this, Dad growled. You'll lose. Try me, I said. Just as I opened the door, I turned back. Oh, almost forgot. I pulled out a small white envelope and tossed it on the floor. Kevin picked it up. What now? Your car, I said. The lease? I stopped covering it. It'll be repossessed by Friday. You wouldn't, he snarled. I already did. And then I walked out. The day after the birthday dinner from Disaster, my phone rang 17 times. 17. First Mom. Then Dad. Then Kevin. Then unknown number. And then my aunt, who hadn't spoken to me since 2018. I didn't answer any of them. At 9:42 a.m., I got a text from my mom. Daniel, we can talk about this. Please call me. I'll forgive you if you fix it. At 10:11 a.m. Your father says you're making a fool of yourself. This will only get worse if you don't stop. At 11:03 a.m. Kevin's losing his car. Ellie's crying. Kelly is furious. You've broken this family. Broken? No. I just finally stopped being the glue. 2 days later, I came home from work and found a man in a blazer standing on my porch. Daniel Wexler? He asked. Yeah, I'm Mark Dawson, legal representative for the Wexler family. I actually laughed. My own family lawyered up? They'd like to negotiate, he said. Privately. No court filings, yet. I'm not negotiating, I said. They can leave the house or pay. That's it. They're arguing undue influence, he said. That the title transfer was manipulative. They begged me to take the house, I snapped. I have the messages. The recordings. The payment logs. Mark shifted uncomfortably. Still, they're willing to settle. Quietly. For what? I asked. A reversal of the foreclosure and continued financial support. Modest, they say. I stared at him. Tell them, I said, they can keep their modesty, I'm done. And I closed the door in his face. That night, Kelly called me. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity won. Daniel, she said, her voice low, I think Kevin's going to try something stupid. Stupid how? He said if you don't reverse the foreclosure, he'll leak your salary online. Expose you. I blinked. What does he think this is? TMZ. I don't know. He's unraveling. Mom and Dad are pressuring him nonstop. He's not sleeping. He's drinking again. Not my problem, I said coldly. I know. I thought you should know. I paused. Why are you telling me this? She hesitated. Because. I filed for separation. I sat up. What? I can't do it anymore. Living in that house, watching them scream about money, watching Kevin spiral. You were right, Daniel. All of it. I didn't know what to say. She broke the silence. I'm not asking you for anything. I just wanted you to know. I finally see it. 1 week later, a sheriff served the final eviction notice. 30 days to vacate. Kevin sent me a voice memo. You think this is over? You're pathetic, Dan. You ruined Mom. You ruined Dad. You ruined me. And when they're gone, and you're alone in that big house, don't come crawling back. I didn't reply, but I did forward the message to my lawyer, just in case. But then came the twist no one saw coming. Grandma. She was 86. In a care home. Half the family forgot she was still alive. She called me out of the blue one evening. Danny, she said, I heard you finally grew a spine. I blinked. Hi, Grandma. Don't hide me. I warned you about your mother in 2005. She was right. I remembered that. She kept talking. I want you to know something. Your grandfather left me the second house. The one in Tahoe. Yeah. Well, I'm changing the will. I sat up. Wait. What? You're getting it, she said. You're the only one who isn't fake. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. They've drained me for years, she muttered. You think your mother paid for this nursing home? Absolutely not. You did. With your money. Your kindness. You just didn't know it. That same night, Kevin posted a meltdown on Facebook. Long, bitter, barely coherent. Some people betray their family for money. I hope it keeps them warm at night. Hope their granite countertops bring them love. Hope their equity hugs them when they're old. It got 11 likes. 2 were from fake accounts he made. My phone buzzed minutes later. A message from a name I hadn't seen in years. Jenna Wexler. My cousin. Mom's niece. Daniel. Just wanted to say. I'm proud of you. We all saw it. We just didn't know how to help. They treated you like furniture. Like an ATM. You didn't burn the bridge. You saved yourself. And for the first time in over a decade, I slept with my phone on silent. And I didn't wake up wondering who needed something. I woke up thinking about me. About peace. And power. And how sometimes, family isn't who you're born to. It's who doesn't hand you a binder and a gift box and call it love. It's been 3 months since I walked out of that house. 3 months since my mom cried over lasagna and told me I was destroying the family, right before I handed her a foreclosure notice tied up in a ribbon. 3 months since Kevin told me I'd regret it. And you know what? I don't. I've never been more at peace in my life. I moved into a condo on the other side of town. Clean walls. New furniture. Silence that doesn't demand apologies. There are no phone calls asking for money. No late-night guilt trips. No group chats demanding turkeys, pies, or apologies. Just mornings. Coffee. Music. Breathing. The kind of quiet that doesn't feel cold, it feels earned. My parents? They moved out of the house last week. I didn't go. I didn't watch. The bank sent me confirmation that the property is clear. I plan to sell it. Let someone else build something there. Kevin tried one last time. He left me a voicemail. You ruined everything, man. Everything. Mom's sick over this. Dad won't speak. They're miserable. I hope you're happy. I didn't respond. I didn't delete it either. Sometimes I replay it when I need to remind myself who I'm no longer responsible for. A week after the move-out, I got a small white envelope in the mail. No return address. Inside was a photo. A photo of me, age 10, sitting at the Thanksgiving table, smiling with a paper crown on my head. Everyone else was turned away, blurry. On the back, written in scratchy blue ink. You were never invisible. You were just surrounded by people who didn't know how to see. Grandma. I sat on the couch with that photo for a long time, and I cried, not because I missed them, but because I'd spent so many years believing their version of me. The cold one. The difficult one. The one who had to earn his place. I don't believe that anymore. Last week, I made my own Thanksgiving dinner. Just for me. One plate. Real silverware. Zero rules. I made pie from scratch. Burned it a little. Laughed. And when I sat down, I got a text. Unknown number. This is Ellie. Mom gave me your number. I just wanted to say thank you for everything you did. I know no one else said it, but I will. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I replied, "You're welcome. And don't ever let anyone tell you your worth depends on what you give them." She sent back a heart. That was it. That was enough. People ask if I regret it, if I miss them, if I wish I'd handled it differently. Here's the truth. I wish I'd done it sooner. Because the moment I stopped trying to be the version of me they could tolerate, was the moment I became the version I could finally respect. They gave me a binder full of rules. I gave them a mirror. And I'm not sorry they didn't like the reflection.